Hi. So OBS crashed, and I didn't notice it until just now, and I've already been working on stuff for a while and talking literally to myself, so that's pretty epic. But I don't know when it crashed. Let me just confirm we're live. Yeah, we are. Okay. So there you go. That's how I am, I guess. How are you guys? What's going on? Just putting this thing together for iquare. I guess I should have organized these by direction a little bit better, but not that big of a deal. So the thing is, I want to make sure that I'm placing this door correctly. I guess that's correct. Okay. I didn't. None of these are remastered ramps. These are all made by a man. Oh, this isn't even the right one, is it? Oh, man. Prank. Okay. All right, now that we've done that, I guess we can do this. Yeah, it's because DF made it. The remastered team didn't make any new ramps for installation. That never existed. You think they would ever do that? What even is this? Oops. Okay. Now these were the ones where the corners were made out of those. Okay. Just going through here. Again, I don't really know what iquare wants out of this, but I'll do what appears to be the key things here. Oh, that's supposed to be panels, but we'll just toss that one to one side. This is plating. Oh, wait. I really wish SEM drift was better, holy moly. This is certainly taking longer than expected. Oh, wait. I actually forgot about the north ramps, but I don't even know where they are now. I thought they were over here. Are they hiding? I certainly don't see them anywhere. One of these needs like an extra tile or something, but I don't remember. All right. I guess I could take versions of these, make like add sprites to them or whatever. These gotta come back, and I gotta place these the same way I place the others. Thankfully, these have a pretty obvious read. These are so much more reasonable to place than the other ones. Beautiful. Yeah, I don't know what else iquare wants. So I guess we'll leave it here for now, and if you know, he finds he wants a different sort of thing, he can add them or get them added or something else. Oh, no, I am very busy and have no more time. I just spent like the first 20 minutes of this stream working on the brush palette stuff for you, so. Man, come on. I have no time today. I gotta get this work done. But you can check out the repository, the dev repository. I just initialized the stuff there. Ah, cool. I don't know what you mean by square edges. Are there reverse installation floor roof ramps? No. Good luck. Todd Speed. That's another 3D one on your end. Are you asking because there's so many asteroids? It's probably an even split, if I had to guess. Or it's close to it. Due to the isometric perspective angle of Starcraft, I don't think you would like the look of square edges. If I understand what you're saying, anyway. Well, you can do whatever you want, man. I'm just telling you, like, it's not a good idea to do stuff like that in the context of StarCraft. You just won't get away with it. It'll look horrible. But if you want to give it a shot anyway, see if you can prove me wrong, feel free. Listen, considering you're able to, like, that's the thing is, like, at least you were able to put something together, right? That's something you might have to do again with the north-facing ramp for, uh, you know what I'm talking about, the thing you were just asking me for, or about. Okay. Cops are after me again, SMH. What did I do this time, officer? I don't know why so many electronic music artists decide it's a good idea to bombard the listener with a million sound effects instead of actually making a song. Now I can't even tell if it's a cop car outside my house. It probably is. Or if it's something completely unrelated. Due to the music. Well, music. Of course not. We don't have tile flags. I need to put that acid core on again. That was the shit. Vik and I made the determination that we are scaling Deliverance back a little bit and stopping it after this mission so that we can get work done on some other things related to the campaign. So we'll see where that goes. Yeah, I mean, it'll be like this saga will be continued in an engine that actually supports mods. or RTS gameplay of this scale. I mean, if we don't have the unit limit extender by the time this campaign comes out, there's not even a point in, like, what I mean is, if when November rolls around, the unit ID extender or the unit limit extender is not actually functioning, there's definitely no point in making further maps, because every single mission in Deliverance will hit that limit. So what the fuck is the point? You know what I mean? It's like, if we can't even get past the first mission without something like that happening, seriously, what's the point? I'm not saying you have to. I'm saying there's no point in making content in an engine that doesn't let you go past, like, you can't even get to 2,000 units. So by the time November rolls around and this contest is done and Deliverance is out with 4 missions, if we still don't have it working by then, there's certainly no point in making content. So everything would have to be super low scale. It's already a way smaller scale than I wanted it to be. No, I'm not talking about unit IDs. I mean the limit of units in the game. As in, it's like 1,700 units or something? I mean, that limit is doubled or something in Remastered, but that's still not enough. It wouldn't even be enough for this map. Yeah, the CCMU. Like, if that's not working by the time November rolls around, then there's no point. Even with that, it's like there's so many other issues you have to put up with. But at least that would allow us to, like, that would facilitate the stuff that we need, at the very least. No. I know unit IDs aren't happening. I'm not really that concerned by it. That's its own can of worms. Well, then you must have tiny maps or something. I hit CCMU even on like 192 by 192 in HYDRA. Oh wait. Yeah. Well, sure, there's room for some sort of improvement. Well, I don't think the brushes will help you that much, to be honest, but maybe. It's an obscene amount of work no matter what. And I'm not even using brushes for the bridges. They need way too much manual shit. I still have to make a ton of tiles. Did I get other bridges? I think so. Of course, there's no tool for that. Listen, there's no tool for anything that we need to do. If there was a proper tool for any of this stuff, we wouldn't have to do any of the stupid shit we've had to do. Come on, you know that. What's wrong with the CCMU extender anyway? Let's see here. There's always more work to be done. What's the process of finding it? Like, what does that look like? Ah, become famous. This player starts with 2 gas. What do you mean? Never seen a base with 2 geysers before? Hmm. Have you actually used Knave's ASM searcher for, like, found results with it? In other things? All right, time to color in the blocks here. Is there any clue that we can use to find all of the remaining cases of the extender or something? I imagine it must be doing something related to units themselves, right? Well, how come you said it wasn't applicable in this case when you were talking earlier about using his tool? How come it wouldn't be helpful? All right. We've done it. So is there a way that you can, like, maybe using a breakpoint or something, you can track every single thing that writes to that address? Because it's the issue is that it's writing, right? It's like an issue of the address being written to. Is there a way you can like track the instruction or the address of the instruction rather? I don't know if that's what a breakpoint does. I assume so, right? Oh no, I guess you'd be doing a breakpoint at a specific memory address. But is there a way you can do some sort of different kind of thing that's similar that would do that? I mean, I understand a lot of things use it, so you'd be frozen all the time. But if there was a way for you to basically say like, for like, all right, ignore all of these particular use cases, and just like basically ruling everything out that you already know about. I guess that would just be really time consuming, but it's one potential solution. Well, that's not what I'm saying though. I'm saying you find everything that's like is there a way to make it so that like whatever it is that you're finding is like you rule out every single case where the address is called explicitly and that leaves out only the cases where the address is called ambiguously. Is there a way to do that? Is what I'm asking. So, for example, if you're expecting a certain call to I'm not sure what you're saying there, but we're just muscling on through over here. The most painful ones of all are to do are these ones here where I'm like I'm not going to be able to fully implement all of the tiles in this one go. Well, the outskirts of this will be done pretty soon, actually, which is very nice. Less stuff for me to worry about. All right. So. I guess we just go straight to the bridge. And then we start filling out the higher dirt on the outskirts and then the low dirt. Just work our way towards the Protoss base. Yeah, I don't know about this one. I think I'll move it over one tile. All right. Hey, pretty epic. Only one that needs a little adjustment is right here. And there we go. Suddenly, the bridges themselves are done. We'll paint the middle. And I guess we'll clean up the cliffs that we have before we place any more. I think this area will be pretty cool once it's done. All we're doing is terraforming this lovely little space station. Nothing to worry about. Okay. Leaves us with the cleanup job. Looks like I got everything so far. This one went much quicker than expected, to be completely honest. It makes me feel like I missed something big, but I guess I didn't. I guess it's all there. Well, time to get the higher cliffs taken care of then. Hmm. There we go. Maybe. And I've gotten so many random copyright claims over the last couple days, and they're all for ancient videos I haven't looked at in a long time, haven't made in a long time. I don't know why they keep doing it, but how are they even getting anything worthwhile from it? Very strange stuff. I mean, obviously the spoiler there is they're not getting any value from it. But you know how it is. This looks rough. But we'll obviously clean up the upper part of it at least. And yeah. What can you say besides we're getting there? We might need to be pulling this cliff in a little bit, or out, I guess. Pushing it a little bit away from the border. Because a 2 tiles top strip is not exactly very generous, we'll say. All right, let's see what we can do here. Clean this area up. And then we'll be pretty close to done, actually. As shocking as that sentence is with this whole section. You know, progress is progress. And we are its architect, dude. Where's my shit, homie? There it is. Just had to find it real quick. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. What a goofball. Hold on, we'll find it eventually. All right, good. All right, that's this one done, I think. Oh, I just saw one that needs to be fixed. There we go. Okay, on to the next. What's up, Patrick? How you doing? How've things been? So because you chose to start yelling right outside my door, that's what that conversation should have sounded like. Okay. Your second favorite mod? We're doing pretty well. We did a pretty big shakeup not so long ago. I don't think you've been around in a while to see it. I don't know if you've been catching any of the progress that we've been making, but we recently removed all upgrades besides the tiered upgrades. We want to remove those too, but we just haven't found a satisfactory way to work them in better. There is going to be another update somewhat soon that addresses that. But that was a big deal, basically making it so that units are the same level of strength at all stages, so that any buffs come from like the usage of other abilities or something like that, making it so that players have a distinct understanding of the strength of any given unit at any given time, which I think works out. I think that was the big thing that happened recently. Been adding some more units. Par for the course in that respect. Obviously, more tiles, as you can see here. But yeah, things are going well. Working on finally deploying a small campaign, which is what you see here now. Just a matter of getting everything in order. What about you? How's your stuff going? It's still not a. It's an honorable goal. I'll say that much. That was one of my always one of my sticking points when it came to Battlecry's franchise as at large. Is that the races just generally felt too similar for my liking. Obviously, coming from Starcraft, it's easy to see why I might gravitate towards that sort of thought process or design philosophy, but I do think that generally those approaches end up creating stronger attachments and delivering stronger gameplay, I guess. I would say so anyway. Although I have heard that Age of Empires 2 has got like a bunch of different sides, and it's more about the smaller changes they make to each place. Like each has a different play style, but it's not so different from everything else that it would be. There's like enough common ground there that you can have multiple specialties or specializations or whatever, rather than like in Pro Starcraft, people just pick one race and stick to it usually. Flash being a notable recent exception. But I certainly wish you luck in that goal, because I think that would definitely make things more interesting. Oh yeah, I've been meaning to ask in your environment when you're doing any sort of map work or whatever, do you still have to deal with those giant chunks of terrain being all you can place? Or have you guys put together your own tool? Or maybe that's... I think I only tried map editing in one of the games, so that might not be the way it is for all of them. But I seem to remember having to place like giant chunks of terrain at a time instead of it being a bit more precise. Or allowing for more precision, anyway. Still big chunks. Must be a pain at times. Oh, it looks like I was actually supposed to drop one of these over there. Oops. Wrong one. I guess I can't be too singing the praises of the isometric approach that we have in this game because it's, as you can see, it's not exactly sunshine and roses. The grass is not that much greener. Of course, I just had to try to get fancy over here. Lay down a whole bunch of different things. Well, that's all right. Wait. What? Oh, I see. It's one of those. Okay. We are on the way to something hopefully epic. I'll just complete the outline over here. I think we're actually going to finish this before I have to go, which is pretty cool. I had not necessarily expected that one. Oh, I never slapped that there. What's up, Veeker? Okay. Oh boy. All right, here comes the fun part. What's going on over in your neck of the woods? Well, I would ask you to give me an example, but you just said you can't think of one, so I don't know what to tell you there. Guess just leave that one for later, in the event that we do need it. Oh wait, that's not the one. Well, print text doesn't use space because that's a limitation of the environment, I'm pretty sure. Like, I would love for it to be able to use space, but I don't think it's possible. That could be just my mistake, though. I don't know. I could be mistaken about that. Maybe it is by design. Oh, there we go. Wow, I can't believe how long it takes to paint these environments. I was really going for a hand-painted feel for my campaign. Look no further. You know it's bad when if you were trying to draw a location around all of the tiles that you needed to make custom tiles for, you would run out of locations. That is probably a true story in this map. How many more YouTube things? Oh, never mind. That's just some spam. All right, boys. Home stretch for this area. We're making it happen. Not quite sure how, but we've done it. I think. Hey. What a weird environment, honestly. But it's pretty neat, all the same. You know, one thing I was thinking about recently that it kind of sucks is I was just starting to do like timestamps and shit for the Big Boys Table podcast. I felt like we were getting organized. I was able to sort of keep Mesk on task, and I was able to rein myself into and not like say too much. And then obviously some shit went down in Mesk's personal life, and now we don't really do podcasts anymore. It's like, come on, man. I was doing it properly and everything. Well, properly. You know what I mean? I was doing a good job. And everything changed. Now here we are. Let's do a different one than that. Let's put some skeletonies. Sure that will not last very long, but whatever. Would you believe it? Ah, shit, homie. That's not gonna work. We're gonna need something a little different there. Let's do that there. The old self prank. Never expected it. The fuck? Oh. Jesus. I love when, like, we've got 4 tiles in a row that are, or no, this one isn't, but 3 out of 4 are complete, like, super specialty random shit. Oh, wait. There we go. Okay, found it. I think that means we are actually done placing all of those tiles. Obviously, there's a bunch that need to be made still, but I think we've actually done it. Wow. Holy moly. I've done the last of the asteroids. I can't believe that's a real thing, but I did it. Epic. Well, I'm going to go celebrate by using the bathroom. BRB. Okay. I have returned now, and I'm looking at this map, and I'm thinking all I need to do now is set up the tiles that will be used over there, which is, you know, it's just no big deal. Happens. Thankfully, I still have some water. All right, so let's draft the area over here then, because that seems a bit more sensible than what I might be doing instead. This area will be an island. The whole top right is going to be an island, but I'm not sure if it'll be an interconnected island or if there will be a little bit more going on. But it's going to be something like well, it's going to be a space platform unto itself, right? What the fuck? So we can fill it in pretty easily. We know like whatever we pick here is going to be good to go. The main issue that I'm worried about is whether or not it will be too. There's like a lot of dead space over here, right? So. So that cuts down on the dead space a little bit, which is nice. Main issue is making sure that I have like the right kind of tile here. So maybe we do it like this? Not sure. Yeah, okay. Should work. Okay, so we can have a bit of resources over there. Obvious location for a base could be there, and then I think there'll be one over there. But maybe we'll do one here, and one here instead, and leave the whole outer area for space for battles. I'm not sure. I really don't know if it makes sense to have like a series of I don't know if I like the idea that you can't get on here through land. Like maybe there should be some docking bridge from the Protoss that embeds itself over here. Like here, here, and here. That it would make sense for there to be a series of bridges over there. I feel like that could work. It just is a matter of getting the art down. So, of course, it kind of hinges on the idea that I can port stuff from Twilight in a high quality manner. I guess failing the space terrain for Protoss, we could always have some sort of like comment about there being like a satellite platform that got taken over by Protoss or something. I don't know. Yeah, me too. I mean, I know he will. It's just he's got to know that too. I want to be cognizant of like how important it is when I place that there. Because obviously that's going to be their main tech, so. Oh, I didn't even realize this whole time I had a prank over here. Alright, I've unpranked. It was always with Mesk and another guest. So if I already was going to do another show like that, another podcast, it would just be a different podcast. Well, that was back when we were still on speaking terms back then. I think that show was called something else, and then we got that title. Or no, maybe he was said that he wanted to come on and say like I put out the call to say like if you're interested in coming on for a show, feel free to come on, and then like just bring your own topic or whatever. If you have something you're interested in talking about, because like it doesn't really make sense for us to like me and Mesk to figure out Mesk and I to figure out the topic, only for like somebody else to join and then like be maybe that they're not interested in that topic or something. So it just made sense for the expectation to be that you'd bring your own topic. And so Necron must have said something about how something related to casuals at least. And then I just decided to make it like a funny and maybe even like a provocative title. If I had to guess, anyway, that's probably how it went down. But it was so long ago that who knows now. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's been a long time since I listened to that podcast, so I don't know, but one of the points that I recall him making that was at least connected to that topic, I don't know if it was actually in that podcast, but he did make the point that very often it seems unlikely that people actually like actively consider, oh yeah, somebody got paid to like it was their job to make the graphic that I am now staring at, or the like every single element of the game is not it's not often that you recognize, oh, every single element of this game, the script, the voice acting, the the graphics, the gameplay, like all of those elements are all the product of somebody's work, and that person who did this work, or the people that did this work, were paid to do this work. Like, it's hard to remind yourself of that, and you should remind yourself of that because it's usually like an embarrassment. The work, the quality of the work itself is usually an embarrassment. The idea that somebody got paid for that, like that was one of his points, I think, at least with regards to graphics specifically. I don't know if everything else figures into it the same way, but yeah, maybe he doesn't agree with that assumption anymore. I don't know. Or it's not really an assumption, but like maybe he doesn't think that that's an important thing anymore. I don't know. Oh yeah, I've got to grab my plating, dude. Do we have any HYDRA expansions? Is that really the only one that we have in the entire map? That's pretty funny. Ding, bing, 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 bong. No, the point is that if you're paid to do something, you should be doing it well. But obviously, the pay could be incongruous with the expectation. It's a more complicated topic than it sounds. But the idea that some entity out there is profiting at a pretty high scale over quality, like work that is not high quality, I think is the main contention, if I had to guess. Oh, holy shit. How did I miss this? How could I? All right. Yeah, that's fair. But just because something is idealistic doesn't mean it's often in the inverse. I was going to say that doesn't mean it should be discarded or ignored. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much what you have to do if you want to make a positive change in the world, as it were. In some ways, pre-placing some of the stuff for these AIs is just a formality. I want them to come online later on in the game. Since we don't have to worry about, well, now even that's pretty lame. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. I'm just saying we should still strive to like make that ideal the reality in some cases, so it's something that's still worthwhile. Well, yeah, I mean that was the whole assuming it was discussed on the podcast. That was Necron's reasoning for bringing it up. I mean, at least him and I had discussed it in like DMs or whatever. So the idea that people don't assign responsibility to the developers or whatever, like that was something that was very much fairly common. Yeah. Well, the other thing is that so like markets, generally speaking, are pretty good at figuring out ways to. They encourage efficiency in production. Like that's what markets generally do, broadly speaking. Like that's one of the things that they do. And so when you have a series of events, like for example, there's demand for a product and you have low quality and somebody else comes in with higher quality or equivalent quality but at a lower price or something like that. There's ways for the market to favor the person who's the most efficiently delivering the quality. So efficiency could be price or it could be quality or it could be some mixture, but that's like the core idea there. And when you think about that, it's like what like the logical conclusion would not be that the games industry of today would arise as a result of markets, but because of lack of oversight, because the markets can't distinguish between real value and falsely, like it's up to the consumers to distinguish between actual value and false value, right? Advertised value, right? That's one of the things that you have to look at and realize like that's one of the blind spots of the market itself. I'm fairly pro market myself, but I also recognize their lackings, like their failings or whatever. They're areas where they are clearly not able to be autonomous. It's that if the companies can convince the consumers to settle for lower grade stuff, if they can, negotiate with the companies can negotiate with one another, if they can, ride trends and set expectations lower and lower with each release. I don't think it's like a deliberate collusion because these people are not particularly competent, even in the marketing sense. Like that's their most competent people are usually like their marketers and their lawyers and stuff, as opposed to their developers. So obviously they're spending the money in the wrong area if they want to make high quality products. But like I was saying earlier, they've realized that that's not where the money is. Like they can overall spend less money, churn out more products, get more of a margin by marketing better, and it doesn't matter that the quality of their development goes down. Because they have other ways of bridging the gap. So the marketers and the psychological aspects of all of the microtransactions and all that. Yeah, I mean that's another thing. I mean, that's what catches all the headlines. The people who are more casual gamers, in a sense that they are actually on the casual side of the spectrum. Like, they just don't play games very competitively or whatever. They're not enthusiasts in the space. Those people get roped into the side of, oh, look at these flashy graphics, right? Like, that the eye candy gets them. It gets them in the door. And it's positive in the sense that it gets more people interested in video games that may otherwise be interested in them. But if it's all style over substance, or if it's all flashiness over quality, it's a net detriment because it's for the people who are not well versed in the space but have standards. They're going to come in, they're going to see this thing that gets them in the door, and then they're going to be like, wow, this is actually terrible beneath the surface, though. The graphics aren't even that good, and they certainly aren't offsetting the negative gameplay experience I'm having. And so they'll just leave. And they'll feel like they got burned by that, and the investment that they put into the time and money investment that they put into the game that has really good graphics according to the marketing. So that's a contributing factor as well. Obviously, the people who don't get burned by that or don't feel burned and don't have standards, we don't want those people in the space anyway. Like, education should come not in the way of lowering their standards by like educating them in a false way, by telling them like, oh yeah, it's really hard for developers, those poor starving developers, please buy all of our microtransactions to feed our developers. Like, that's the wrong narrative to spin. It's just factually wrong. On a factual basis, it is incorrect. But you don't get that kind of experience. The inverse education of, here's how easy it is to fix the problems that you see in these AAA releases. Here's a way for you to conceptualize things from a developer's mindset. There's no content out there, and this is a space where I do think I could make a difference once I'm a little bit more well versed in game development itself. There really is no content out there that looks into a game and says, like, here's an example of a bug, and here's my recreation of it in my engine, and here's how to fix it, and it's a 10-second fix. Like, whatever the case may be, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing like that. There's nothing like that out there to educate people on how trivial the process of fixing these bugs actually is, or the process of designing a game from the ground up. Like, I'm not saying it's the easiest thing in the world and everybody can do it, but I am saying that with enough time, with enough discipline, with enough of an approach that it prizes quality first, you will get there. You just have to stick to it. Well, if it has microtransactions, it's cancer and should be deleted, but that's just a principled thing. It has nothing to do with whether or not it's better relative to other games that have microtransactions. Because the idea is that you're locking either behind a paywall or a grind wall or both, you're locking cosmetic options away from players. And in games where everything, like consider Counter-Strike, where the player has no unique characteristics. It's not like the counter-terrorist has a different like amount of health or something than the terrorist does. So there's no functional gameplay difference between anything. Cosmetic updates are or changes, cosmetic modifications are the only way that you can even express your personality on a audio visual level through the game, because you can't express your personality. I mean, obviously you can do it in gameplay, but on a cosmetic level or on an audio visual level, it's not like you can play as a different model or something. I mean, this is a feature that they had in CS Source that they just took out apparently. So really, everything, like all of the skins in Counter-Strike, all of the microtransactions that I've ever seen, they shouldn't be something that requires money. They shouldn't be something that there shouldn't be fucking like an economy system in Counter-Strike because of skins. That should, like, and again, playing on ideals, but that's not even like a crazy ideal to even look at. It's actually crazy that it's gotten to the point that it has. It's just absurd. Anyway, I don't think people should be forced to pay other people. I mean, like, again, there's no oversight to this. Nobody's standing, nor should this be the case, by the way, but nobody is standing over my shoulder as I'm making a Counter-Strike skin and checking to see if I'm putting in the effort, right? And checking to see how much effort that is, and then totaling up the hours that I spent on it and saying, like, there's not even a way to self-report this thing either. So you can't even like total the number of hours spent. Here's the process. I documented it. Here's how I did it. Here's the tools that I used. Here's the skills that I have. And here's like sort of like a chart or whatever, like a readout of how many hours I spent on this particular piece of work. There's nothing like that for skins. And if there were, maybe then you could use that and math out exactly how much money it would be worth or something. Like, if that's the case, though, then somebody should be paying them an upfront fee. Like, the developer should just pay them for the work that they've done. You know what I mean? That should be what it is. Not a fucking microtransaction, spend this money to get it. Like, it should just be a free aspect of the game now. Like, that, I would be interested in exploring something like that in our game. I don't know, I don't think I would do cosmetics customization of units in the RTS, but if there's like custom consoles or something that's UI based, that's only personal to the player that's using it, that's not necessarily has anything to do with anything else, like maybe that could be something that we could explore. And then if you make a really good console, I'll put it in the game, and have it as an official option to pick from or something like that. And yeah, everybody could do a lot of things if they put in the time. That's the thing, is like I don't think anybody's bestowed with innate characteristics that make them better or worse at something is very specific and very recent, very young as game development. Like nobody, like this has been a quote unquote industry for like 30 or 40 years max. And not even really, because early games were like in the super early, like 30, 40 years ago, earlier games were like super basic stuff, like Pong or whatever. And they weren't, there was no industry for it. They weren't products, right? So well, yeah, I've never played an MMO MMO anything, but especially a MMORPG, because they all try to emulate World of Warcraft, and World of Warcraft is some of the grindiest, scummiest gameplay out there. Just in terms of a product that you pay once for, forget about the subscription fee, and you play it, Like it's not a good game. It's not fundamentally a good game. So I don't know. Like they enter into all this marketing shit. There's like interviews apparently where I haven't verified this independently, but Mesk has claimed that there are interviews out there that involve the developers behind World of Warcraft, like the actual staff at Blizzard, saying that they deliberately designed the game to try to rope in as many non-gamers as possible, as many people who had never played a game as possible. Like they wanted to get that many people there, and like they played on people's social environments and like try to make it a social game and stuff. It's gross. And every game wants to emulate World of Warcraft because every game wants to be as successful financially as World of Warcraft. Because every developer is and publisher or whatever is more concerned about money in than productivity out, money in than quality out. And on that depressing note, I do have to kill the stream and get ready for work. But hey, I got some work done today. I'm happy about that. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks for chatting, Veek. I'll catch you guys on the next stream or whenever I upload the next piece of content. Should have time for a dad call at least later today, so look out for that. And yeah.